Hello, and welcome to Always with Awareness. My name is Awa and Doug.
And I'm Douglas Lodmell. And today we want to talk about a big topic that, is just, gosh, today it's back in fashion and topic of conversation, which is understanding racism and just what's going on. Because, it's just something that everybody wants to know. It's being brought up now in a way that it hasn't been for several years. The politics of the nation have just created an environment around it where now it's a topic of conversation in a way that it wasn't quite in the past. And you and I were having a conversation about it the other day, and you had a take on it that really kind of blew me away. It kind of really popped my understanding of it. Because growing up in this country, you see racism as a black and white issue, or a Mexican and white and black and any kind of minority versus the majority. And I had a very cosmopolitan, broad breadth experience of this country. Grew up in all parts of it, really, from Northern California to Southern California to Alabama to the Midwest in Nebraska to New York to Florida. I really hit all the corners in the middle. And you grew up in Africa.
That's right.
In a completely different environment. And so when we started talking about racism, it's like, what is racism? Like, what exactly is it? You said it's actually just favoritism.
Yeah.
And so explain that.
Well, that's how I always saw it, because I myself personally did not, of course, have the lives of the Black Americans, because we have to talk about it. If you're going to talk about it, slavery.
Yeah, you don't have a Black American experience. You have a completely different cultural experience.
Exactly. So, when it happens to the whole world. The pain is bigger for both races, Black
everybody.
And white, and everybody. But I think what's left of it now is more favoritism. We are in a world where you have to have a favorite anything. You cannot just want something for the sake of it and for the moment. Everything is, I favor this. When you have a mind that always think, what do I favor? It's easy that when it comes to who do you want to be your neighbor, you favor a Black person or a white person. If it comes to who do you trust with your money, a Jewish person or a Christian. So, because you're always thinking, who are my favorite people? And you're not thinking, who are my favorite people for the job? Or for this moment, for what I need. You're thinking my favorite people, period. But your favorite people might be white, Black, Jew, Christian, and yet they might not be able to check all the boxes. So when that comes into our government, and people are now playing the favoritism card, and we always have people, you asking them why they're voting for one or the other, and it's because of their skin color or their gender. That's not why you hire somebody. You hire somebody for the job. But again, I grew up not having favorite nothing.
It's hard to believe when you say that. I know it's true, but when people are going to hear you and go, what is she talking about? Of course she had a favorite. What was your favorite ice cream? What was your favorite candy? What was your favorite meal? Right?
When we had ice cream, it was ice cream time. You don't have a favorite ice cream. You have the ice cream that is given to you.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I think that's what happened in this part of the world. Everything is favorite. Oh, which one? They go all the way to who's your favorite child?
Yeah.
People
ask
really?
You, yeah.
Favorite child? No. What is your favorite day? What is your favorite? It's just when you live your life like that, it's not, I understand why you end up being being seen as a racist.
Right? Because what you're saying is, I have a favorite people. I have
That's
a
right.
favorite. It's really a comfort zone, right?
It's your
So
comfort
I'm
zone.
comfortable with the people that I grew up with. They're from my town. They went to my high school. They look like this. They talk like this. They have this kind of background, and we can court that. That ends up looking like, oh, that's what I want to be around. And so that when somebody that looks different comes in, you're like, oh no, not my favorite person.
That's right.
They talk different. They eat different stuff. They are not what I'm used to, and so you end up discriminating against them because you're saying I'm discriminating on who I want in my environment because I've allowed favoritism into my life.
That's right.
That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. As simple as that.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. So it's not a race issue. It's not a color issue or a skin issue. It's literally just the world that you've built, what you're comfortable with, and using the language of favorite is supporting that separation between us.
I can only talk for myself. I don't wake up in the morning to remind myself, am I black? Am I black? Yeah, I'm black. Oh, let me play the black card. I don't think you wake up and say, oh, I'm white.
No, you just wake up.
But you can wake up and say, I'm going to have my favorite this, and that inspire you to start your day. Well, my favorite coffee, my favorite meal. So again, that mind, again, everything is a mind work. Mm-hmm. When your mind is only seeing favorite, and it's always taking you to your favorite, anything it is. And if you don't have your favorite, then you are less than, or you're not okay, or it's not okay. Then you end up really seeing two instead of one. And you end up not focusing on the goal, but you are now seeing the person. Mm-hmm. Because if your goal is to hire somebody for the job, you should not care what color they are, or how much money they have, or are they tall or are they short. You make it about the job.
And if the job demands tall because it's the NBA, okay, consider tall.
Well, we're seeing
Consider
more short
skill.
people now in the NBA.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever it is, right? I'm saying
So
if the job
skilled.
demands something, then fine, it's a consideration that you're free to use.
Yeah.
But if it's like, oh, I just don't want tall people in my choir because it looks weird on stage.
Yeah.
Okay, well, is that a consideration that you should be looking at? Yeah. So this idea really is getting to this concept of duality, separation. Right. So when you have a favorite, what you're really doing is just separating. Favorite, not favorite, right? Vanilla ice cream, chocolate ice cream. I'm just separating. Yeah. What you're saying is that if we remove this concept of I have a favorite ice cream, and you just say I have ice cream, and you are free to choose the ice cream you want in the moment. You're free to consider, oh, this flavor I've had before and it was enjoyable, but you don't train yourself to think in terms of favoritism.
That's right.
That you end up less likely to end up looking like you are racist.
Yeah. And if you are racist, you're suffering. That's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You're suffering. To the point where I remember when you asked me that question, I said, just universe is so funny. Now you see these people that didn't want the Mexican, not black people. Next thing you know, you're old, you're in the hospice, your kids are not coming.
Yeah. Who's taking care of you?
And they're taking care of you, and they're doing it for the heart, from their heart. And you are laying there knowing that with all the money in the world, I wouldn't have done this job because I don't have the heart. I have the money, but I don't have the heart. They have the heart, and they're getting paid pennies. And that's when you realize how amazing these people are. And then it's too late. And you missed it. And maybe all your life you had voted for a wall and get them out of here. And next thing you know, you're realizing, wow, how come? How did I miss that the work was to work my heart, not to have favorite anything. So I don't know how did I get there to not have any favorite. Actually, when people ask me what's your favorite, I'm like, but why would I limit myself to a favorite one thing? Because that ice cream that you say you don't want, or that food you don't want, or that clothes you don't want, or that person you don't want, if it's the last person you're going to see before you check out of here, they're going to be your favorite. At that point, at that moment, it's going to be the best food you ever had, the best ice cream you ever had. Why? Because you're going to make it be that. Not that it is, but you're going to make it. Why? Because you're saying that's the last one. But this is the thing, when we're talking about live every day like it's the last day. Then why would any of this matter? Really? If today's the last day, why would it matter what I'm wearing? Why did it matter what it only mattered what you heard and how you're going to use it. So that's my thing about being racist. I don't think it does exist. I don't think people are born racist, but they definitely learn to have favors.
Yeah. My kids, I was jamming out to a song that I knew from a long time ago, and I was just singing along with it. And I remember, I think it was my son said, "Dad, is this your favorite song?" And I stopped, because in that moment, I really asked myself the question. And I said, right this second it is.
Right this second it is.
At this moment, I'm enjoying this song more than any other song in the world, because that's the one that's playing.
That's right.
And so it reminded me to stop and just make every moment my favorite. So if every moment's your favorite, then it's not really your favorite. It's just your present, right? You're just saying, hey, I'm here now. Because in reality, what is a favorite anyway? It's a memory. It's a past. It's an association with a past experience that you somehow are trying to recreate, which is always a recipe for disaster.
Always. Always. I mean, I look at it over and over again. People that have a favorite anything, if you're going to live life and you're going to be feeling pain, hurt, who's going to hurt you? The people that you favor the most.
Yeah.
They're the one that you're saying, I'm allowing you to do so.
Exactly.
You know? So let's watch how we have trained our mind to have favoritism be the state of our mind. Mm-hmm. It become a state that had brought us addiction, that had disconnected us, that had made you not be aware of the gift that the people that are in the present moment in your life, the gift that they are in your life. Why? Because you have a favorite.
Yeah.
But that favorite never existed, will never exist. In the big scream of stuff, is you made it that. Universe doesn't work as favorite. God doesn't give you an apple tree with 5 apples for each of you and your kids just because he favors you. He gives you a whole freaking tree that keeps on giving you hundreds and thousands of apples for you to share. There's no favoritism in the universe.
Right.
None.
Oh, it doesn't even make sense.
We all breathe the same air. The sky is blue for everybody, is above for everybody, and not under for one and above for the other. So that is what racism is. That's all. Favoritism. Now it's okay if you having your life working with all your favorite things until the end. I just wish the end, the favorite will be there. Yeah. At the end.
Yeah, well, if you can arrange your life where you only ever have to deal with your favorite things, then great. But that's not the world that most people live in. Yeah. We have to deal with all the things, not just our favorite things. And if we have these favorite things, by definition, when I'm not eating my favorite ice cream, can I really be enjoying it as much as my favorite? Because I put this gap between, this ice cream and my favorite ice cream. Well, I guess I'll enjoy it, but not quite as much as if it was my favorite. But it's just in the head. It's just an imagination of a past.
Yeah.
And so how about just in this moment, this is my favorite moment. Every moment is my favorite moment. Every person I'm with is my favorite person. Yeah. And that's not easy to do.
Well,
it's not a concept that people, because we're so trained into this favoritism.
I'm telling you, if you have a favorite person, that person is going to end up. It's just a way of saying, I'm allowing you to hurt me. You know, my husband is not the same color skin as me, which doesn't mean anything. He's just a faded black who left Africa for Norway. Right. But I remember when my mom just stopped wishing for us to have some kind of husband of her dreams. She's like, I'm done. I realized having a favorite doesn't work. So if you have a favorite and you have put your kids in the box that they're going to go this way, it's never going to work. Your mom was the other gift in my life who said, I just didn't think that a black woman from Africa, not intellectual, could change my life.
Well, she had a favorite way of being educated.
Exactly.
That you had to be a scholar,
exactly.
Preferably Jewish.
Exactly.
And you had to have written a bunch of books, and you have to talk at an extremely high intellectual level, and that's how she was going to learn. Yeah. And so when you came along, she just couldn't believe that the message was going to come from you. Exactly. And she resisted it for years.
Yes.
Until one day she goes, "Oh my God, it's you."
Yeah.
Like it's you.
Well, it's just so funny. If you look at the most influential people, sorry, between my French, English, all of it, are, if you think of who they are, Jesus, the Prophet Muhammad, all these saints, all these big people who, from beginning of time when they were to now, they've been gone for thousands of years, and they still influence us. They were not
educated.
You know, where were they in touch with what the knowledge that they have or the wisdom that they have? You know, so already to think that your favorite person has to show up in front of you being a scholar with all these diplomas for you to be saying this is the right person, you're locking yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, yeah, well, favoritism is just a box that we draw around our world and say, oh, I want to be in this box.
And that's why I do not use the word racist for people. I just say they just have favors.
Yeah. Which is freeing because it reduces the judgment, and judgment doesn't help. We've already discussed the whole right and the wrong, and if we make them wrong because they're racist, now how do we connect with them? How do we heal? How do we heal as a nation, as a world, when we've already decided, well, they're wrong. Yeah. We can't really work with them. We can forgive them, but we can't make them right. Let's just erase the right and the wrong and just say this is what it is. It's the same. Let's erase favorite and least favorite. Yeah. Let's erase the word, oh, I hate this. Oh, I love this. Yeah. All of that is just separation. We're living in this world of, oh, this and that, black and white, on and off, up and down. None of that is serving the goal of connection. So you said it the other day, decide on what your goal is. Yeah. If your goal is to disconnect with somebody, is to make sure that you walk out of there hating each other, that's pretty easy to do. Just make sure that you have a lot of really clear right and wrong. You can
stop at high.
Yeah.
If you don't like somebody from the high, that's it. They can feel, you can feel that this is not going anywhere. Yeah. But to stick with it, you know, and see what connects you. That's work.
It's work. You have to stand in the heat and say, okay, whoa, this person is really, really triggering me right now to my core. Mm-hmm. How do I stand with this person and still connect with this person?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to favoritism, you know, like I said, I don't say the word racist. I don't think people are racist. They're just in prison with their favoritism, and that's fine as long as it's working for you. This world right now, we have to really know favoritism. I understand why, because we were in our little villages, every one of us. This world is calling for a bigger world. Now, you don't even have to speak somebody's language to know you're connected, because you have so many things in common. They had traveled to the same place you travel, with the same books you read, loved the same sports, and that connects you. Back then, there wasn't any of this. So it was easy to be in your little village and prefer your village people. But that's not. The world had opened up the gate, and there is no turning back. Zero. So this favorite food, honey, great food are going to hit you from right and left. So if you're locked in your favorite, you're just saying you're not going to be open to trying anything new. So I think, again, open up. Don't be locked in your favoritism. Don't be locked in, it's like asking for freedom. You're already in jail. If not, you wouldn't need it. So that's my intake about the word racism, and how people are teaching their kids how to favor one person. Who's your favorite friends? I never ask my kids their favorite friends. I hope and they love every friend of theirs and connect with what they have in common and what they don't. So
Yeah.
That's
your take on it.
That's my take on it.
Well, I love it, and it's true. And think about this one. This one might hit you and go, wait a second. But think deeply about this concept of favoritism and how it translates all the way down into racism and everything else that you can think of, by the way. Everything.
Right.
It's really just favoritism. And the entire concept, just like the concept of right and wrong, ask the question, is it serving me to have favorites? Is it serving me? If it's serving you, how is it serving you? Dig into that. Why?
Yeah.
What is it doing for me to have favorites? And the most likely answer is that if you think it is serving you, it's just to keep your world pretty small and your circle small, so that you're with your friends, you're with the people, you go to the same restaurant, you go to the same bar. You just want to keep a small world because you want to stay in your comfort zone.
And you're free to do that.
And you're free, and that's fine. And
As
if
long
that's
as
working
working.
for you to be circumscribed into that world, then keep at it for sure. But if it's not, if you're looking at it and going, wow, there might be some places in which this comfort zone of favoritism is locking me in, consider how maybe you want to reevaluate and say that maybe I don't need to have this concept of favoritism.
And
favorites.
definitely, if you have that, to not give it to your kids. These kids are not going to have favorite anything. They're open to love and play around. And it's just, let's not take that away from them. A child will tell you, why do I have to choose?
I remember Aslan, he would say, if anybody would ever say, oh, what's your favorite? He would just go, both.
Both, exactly.
Who's your favorite parent? Mommy, daddy? Both.
Yeah, and you look at it in a child. I mean, if you give them chocolate and vanilla, they want to try both.
Oh,
they
yeah,
don't have
they'd
a
be like-
favorite, So I think that's a child within us that is so balanced, so beautiful, doesn't have a favoritism, doesn't see colors, doesn't see anything but just joy and happiness. And let's bring it back to life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. I'm
So,
all
well, this
for
was
it.
my favorite show for sure.
Yeah, I have that question too,
Yeah,
So
exactly. So
endless. favorites.
endless. Well, every show is my favorite show. Every moment is my favorite moment. You're definitely my favorite wife. So I hope you enjoyed this
It better
one.
be.
Yeah, that one's okay, right?
Yeah.
I can have that one. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed the show. Like, subscribe, share, and yeah, if this is your favorite, give us a heart.
Exactly. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. So, all right. Well, we'll see you next time.
Thank you.